Hello, and a big welcome to the regular Valiant viewers out there. I just want to give a trigger warning before I start this reading, in case there's new viewers just passing through. On this channel, Trump is regarded as a treacherous, loofah-faced, pussy-grabbing yeti who is spectacularly ill-equipped to be the President of the United States. So let's all be perfectly clear about that. So, fair and balanced, I am not. Okay. So, having said that, let's take a look at what's in store for the Yeti in February. Time is now flying. You have to feel, though, the energy is shifting generally. Isn't it? People feel like they're a bit less despairing. I think since the Dems have got in, there's a bit more heart around. And we'll have a look at potential candidates too over the coming weeks and months. It's all on. Hold on to your hats, grab your seat, popcorn or champagne, your call. All right, let's have a look at February for Trump. I'll do each of the 4 weeks. I am using the Toff deck, so not many readers use it. It's considered by some to be quite a dark deck. I think it's perfect, of course, for this sort of material. All right, Trump February. His signifier. So we'll look at his first week coming up here. His signifier for the whole of February, the Two of Swords. We are entering the crossroads. We sure are. Right. I don't think he has much of a dilemma. He's just now a man surviving on instinct, and it's a fairly primitive instinct. He doesn't have a brain to work with. He doesn't have a heart. He doesn't have a soul. He doesn't have the capacity to reflect or to learn. So we're talking pure instinct here. So this is the tone around Trump. Right, that the country is literally at a crossroads in the month of February. Can't write him off prematurely. Wish that we could. He gets the Magician card. You've got to hand it to him for a multiple bankrupt where the entire banking system of your own country refuses to deal with you, and he just keeps going to other places and talking the talk. He still has some capacity to wriggle, to deny, to diffuse, to obfuscate. He's pulling out all his magician's tricks out of the bag in the first week of February. So the next thing he'll be working on is the Eight of Pentacles, also called in other decks the Apprentice card. You've got to love this. Now, he's not a fine print person. This card's associated with working on the fine print or the details. So this is speaking of Trump. People around him, people against him, people for him. Everyone's working on details except him. Right? Now, he gets another 8. This is the 8 of Wands, swiftness, speed. This is when things happen very quickly. In the regular Rider-Waite deck, all the spears are going in a particular direction. In the imagery here, the spears or the wands are coming in all directions. He's getting hit from all sides. The first week of February will not be comfortable. I think we can safely assume, viewers, with everything that's going on, sorry, new viewers, a digression. with everything that's going on, he can no longer have good days. I think he only has bad days and truly hideous days. So gone as he's past that point of no return where he can suck down a few Diet Cokes and chomp on some hamburgers and watch porn in his dressing gown. Those days are actually severely numbered. So there's a tension from this point on, well, from the time the Dems got in on, that he's only slowly beginning to grasp, right? Okay, let's do week 2 of February. Week 2. Some deals. He gets the 8 of Swords. You don't want the 8 or the 9 or the 10 of Swords. It's always a very difficult time. I'm not surprised to hear it coming up here. So as the second week moves into mid-February, things are going to get more intense generally, with Cohen giving testimony. Now it's behind closed doors, of course, because of the threats. But we're still only here in the second week of February. Excuse me. The swords are out. He gets the Lover's card. We're not talking about his love life, paid for or otherwise. This is about deals. I think this is in the column of the fine print and some sort of deals being worked. This could be small Mickey Mouse deals tinkering around the edges, or it could be bigger deals being made for, by, and about Trump, right? So it's very odd in this that there's not so much odd that deals are being made, but that he still thinks he can do anything to save his sorry pimply ass, right? So I'm tending to think these deals are talking more to maybe things like the Transparency Act, where Blumenthal and others are trying to make sure that the Mueller report will be released with transparency and stuff. I see it's these deals, and I see this deal even as a problem for Trump. Right. Okay, then as week 2 pans out, he gets the Ace of Discs or the Ace of Pentacles. My take on the Ace of Pentacles is slightly more jaundiced than many readers maybe. So the Ace of Pentacles in a normal reading, by normal I mean for a normal person, can be a positive card of generating new ideas to make money and to move forward with money and to have a breakthrough, etc. I've always tended to see it in the context of these political readings as fool's gold. So I think there will be more revelations, as if we need them, about bent money. So let's move on to week 3. Oh, there's Ivanka. Funny, she keeps turning up in various guises. Okay, so he has the 4 of Discs or the 4 of Pentacles, traditionally the Miser's card, holding on to money, but in the Thoth deck it's much more about power, blatant power. It's a very mechanistic card, and it's under the swords. So it's like this is people telling him, the swords is, I think, partly Cohen's testimony that's going to be coming on stream, but also other people telling him what he can't do and what he can't save. And I think that's freaking him out. So he's using his own inner world of what he thinks he's got his power to try and preserve his money. The money will be flowing out. It will be its own Gulf Stream. All right. Also, here we have the Three of Wands, which is business and commerce over the water. I wonder what that refers to in terms of deals and fine print. Well, yes, that would be the 100 engagements with Russia, apart from other things, you'd have to think, right? So, before I get on to Ivanka, I'd just like to stay on Russia. I'm sure you've seen coverage of Chris Christie. Not someone I'd choose as a godfather for my children, but nonetheless, he's written the book, which I'm sure is juicy. I'm almost tempted to read it. But what comes out of the Christie book, and he's known them all for years, is the naivety, at best, in the campaign. The complete political naivety. Naivety is too kind a word. Yes, they were naive, they didn't know, but it's the arrogance that meant no one in that campaign bothered to find out that everything they were doing was illegal. So they either knew it was illegal or were too arrogant to care. That's all it boils down to. Right. So this is all coming back to haunt him. So when it comes up like this, a connected line through the middle column, it's making a connection right through February. Now, let's look at the criminal daughter. Ivanka's turned up, so it draws my attention. I always get her as this card with the Thoth deck. The gorgeous feminine figure being swept up but being lashed back by the tiger's tail. So why isn't there more investigative journalism on Ivanka's China deals and transactions now? How come she can circumvent the years of waiting and all the negotiation and get these deals with China? Well, let me answer my own question. Journalists, please pursue this. Wendy Deng, hello, speaking of godparents, the godmother of her children, is obviously paving the way for Ivanka in China. Wendy Deng, who was literally in bed with Putin, that same Wendy Deng, the one who was married to Murdoch, Fox. A few connections. Okay, so this is Ivanka, who should be soaring at this stage of her life, is actually going to be brought down to earth by a tiger, unless, of course, one of her brothers shoots it first. Charming woman, working women. What would she know about that? I'm sorry, if you have a cook and a gardener and the au pairs and the nannies and the drivers and the stuff, I don't think you should speak about working motherhood. Okay, what have we got here? Cranky Lena. All right. Oh, the last week of February is not marvellous for Trump et al. The whole family. Ooh, this is a heavy row I'm seeing here. This is a heavy row. This is not just me blistering this family because I despise them. It's not as simple as that. It wouldn't matter who got these cards, I'd suggest, in tarot world, but it'd be hard to put a positive spin on them. We have the Seven of Swords, futility. Yeah, all this fighting, he's had all the swords going on. Stab, stab, stab. Futility. So that's what I meant when I was saying right at the beginning of this reading, it's like things have turned a corner. Yes, not fast enough, not permanent enough, all that, but they have turned a corner. It's futile now for him to try and pursue and escape from what is coming down. That is right next to the Prince of Swords. I don't think this is Muller. Muller's beyond princedom. I mean, he's knocking on the door of sainthood, really. It's not Trump. It's someone younger who is sent out. Because Trump's own game is up, we've got to think of his personality profile, right? He is obviously a narcissist. So while he's winning, he wants to be the face of everything. As February progresses and things are impossible for him, we're going to see him less. He's going to get a new attack dog. This is so not Giuliani. He's going to put out another younger person to be his mouthpiece and hopefully, you know, keep the bass purring over and all of that. Someone who's verbally aggressive and quite a violent personality. I'm not saying that this person necessarily has that personality, but that's what Trump wants. He wants someone who can cut through these things that are bringing him down. So, but it's definitely a younger man. Bear in mind, someone could still be 50 and be younger than Trump. So it doesn't have to be a young Blade. Or it could be a new vocal lawyer appointment. He's got the worst legal advice in the world. Well, you get what you pay for, and I'm sure he doesn't pay his bills. Could be someone legal. And that's followed by eights. We've got a lot of eights. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 eights. The numbers in tarot go from 2s at the beginning, 10s at the end. 8's giving us a big clue that we're really getting closer to some sort of end game. Okay, so the 8 of Cups, in the Rider-Waite deck, the regular deck, this is quite a coochie-coo card, you know, of lots of emotions fulfilled. But in the Thoth deck, it's called indolence, and the cups of emotion are overflowing and oozing. And it's right next door to this serious energy card here. Right, this Prince of Swords. Prince of Swords is also a spy, can be a spy. So he might have someone he brings on board who, again, like everyone else, will turn, because he only attracts these shallow, self-serving people. Duh, not mysterious. Things are not good in February, no matter how you spin it. He can call a state of emergency, he can stand on his head, he can hang from the chandelier in his tighty-whities, he can do whatever he can dream up. But February will be remembered as the lid on the coffin. It's not nailed down yet, still a way to go. Before I go, I want to just talk briefly. Whittaker came out and suggested that Muller was once again just on the brink of wrapping up. Yeah, but no, but maybe he is, maybe he isn't. So we've really got to be patient. This is extremely complicated. There might be something coming up soon, and God knows we all hope it does. But Whittaker was in a cold sweat when he said that. It was very strange. It was inappropriate to preempt the special counsel in his position. I think he is totally freaked out. And I think it was a nervous response, and I think he was sent out there by Trump to say it's nearly over. So I just wanted to hose that down a bit. As you know, I'm always happy to be wrong, viewers. You know, like if it all came to fruition in the next 3 days, no one would be more pleased than me. But Muller would hate this, absolutely hate it. He has formally asked for an extension of the grand jury for 6 months. Even if he's not intending to use the whole of the 6 months, you'd have to think, why would he do that and then wind it up this early? The other argument is, wouldn't he be waiting for the real Attorney General, good, bad or ugly? This guy is acting, he's inept, he's out of his depth. Why would he unveil it then? I'm not getting the vibe, I have to say. All right, so take heart, intrepid viewers. It is unfolding, and I can't stress enough how important it is to let all these things play out fully. So not only Don Jr., I'm sure, will be done for lying to Congress, let's hope. Eric Prince, brother of the very strange Betsy DeVos. Lie, 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 lie. There has to be more indictments purring around the corner. All right then. Bye for now.